I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
I've got the meat you wanted.
Great. Nothing like the aroma of fresh game. Here you are. You've earned your groschen.
Are you after some meat?
Certainly. I'm expecting a travelling merchant who loves venison from roe deer. I'll be mighty grateful if you brought me some fresh stuff.
Have you seen a worn-out old whore who usually stands outside here?
She disappeared yesterday and hasn't been back since. I heard her former husband was found dead at home with his balls chopped off and his wife strangled and her eyes scratched out, and the house ransacked and robbed.
Oh, fuck.
They say it looks like a butcher's yard there. No one can say for sure if the old bitch had anything to do with it, but I'll wager the shirt on my back you won't be seeing her around here again.
I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention. Ale for me?
I'd like to learn...
Sir.
I'm interested...
All right, but... Now, pay...
A tankard of ale for me.
Macska tévedt a
Azt szentségű!
diszkóölésre.
Látjad! Hé, ott van! Vigyázz! Ezt élvezem!
Ott mi? Látjátok? Ott ez a genylána! Jól van. get out of here! Be off, I say! How are you?
I'm honored that you should come to me.
I have some trophies.
Show me. So many. My lad, you're like the smiting right hand of God.
I've taken care of that camp.
Have you brought me proof?
Here it is.
Good work. Well done. I've received another report. Some folk were ambushed by the Talbot Creek on the way towards Ujits. I reckon...
All right, I'll take a look around.
no business here.
You want something from me, do you?
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
He took me into his garrison.
Hal the blacksmith's boy in the service of his lordship. Who'd have ever thought it? My luck hasn't been so good.
You survived. That's something to thank God for.
True enough. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Oh, damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt.
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melachar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melachar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I understand old Straw wants revenge, but first I have to question that bandit. What happens after is no skin off my nose.
Good luck, then.
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melachar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Vurba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melachar and Straw have sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about Merhoyed?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
Can you tell me something about Old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his boy died.
That's normal to grieve, though.
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse, his wife caught the sickness, and he's not taking care of her.
Where can I find this Straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
What's Melachar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuhof.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them, so they picked Melachar.
Thank God you had someone here who could take the reins.
Aye.
What's Melachar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in...
I know.
Sir Ha...
Since when do subjects govern of it?
What can we do? If it weren't for Melachar, those bandits would have torched the place to the ground. The villagers won't follow anyone else.
Where does Melachar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melachar lives in the left-hand one.
Are you Melachar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Saradze Kobala. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Saradzig won't help us with that. Any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No news has reached Ratai of any disease here. But I'm here now, and I can help you.
Well, since you serve Saradzig, you might be of some use. If anyone can be.
Tell me what to do.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
You're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melikar. God save you. What can I do for you?
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. And now, the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then, the disease came.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Skullets was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhoff stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed, and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother. More and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. Thanks. That'll be all for now.
I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
I urgently need to question that prisoner. People's lives depend on it.
So does mine. Melikar will kill me if I let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar.
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away. I can help her.
I don't want her taken, no.
There. You see?
What? Are you a quack?
Something like that.
Then go to it. Go!
Fever. Just like Melichar's wife.
Eternal rest. Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague cross on the door?
My name is Henry. I'm going to the monastery to get help.
It's long past time. The Lord's already taken my poor Anthony. And what do you want from me?
I need to know how the illness afflicted your husband.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak. And Melichar said the dead should be buried at once.
Of course I'll help you.
Thank you. We have to bury him at the back of the house. There's a lovely linden tree there.
I understand. I'll dig the grave there.
Thank you. When you're ready, come back. I'll say goodbye for now. Grant his soul.
It's done.
Thank you. Now please take him there. Oh, Lord.
Will you please tell me about his illness?
Certainly. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like it'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. It must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.
Where did you come from? Better get lost, Sharpish, or you'll be sorry.
True, did you, boys?
Well,
now, look what's come crawling at you. You made a mistake getting on the wrong side of me.
Just my luck to get stuck here with all. Meanwhile, Thomas and Pavel are probably playing dice up on the battlements. Jesus, another one.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Not right now. Matthias sent me.
Matthias? My God, did something happen?
I don't know if you've heard about it, but Merhoyed was attacked.
Oh God! How is Matthias?
Wounded in the arm. He's being brave about it, but his injury looks bad.
I need to see him.
Before you go, there's something else.
What?
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Their livestock has died off, and now the people are coming down with it too. I thought maybe someone here might know what to do.
Merciful heavens. How awful. It's a good thing you've come here. If there's any hope, this is the place to find it. You need Brother Nicodemus, the monastery physician. He may know how to deal with it.
Very well, I'll try to find him.
Come back when you know more.
Thank you, Johanka. What's happening here? Oh my God. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes, There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
What are you doing here?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian could set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium, anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why the fuck are you waking me up?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the cumans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
These wounds have been well taken care of. I'm not needed here.
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
So you don't normally treat the wounded, then?
Well, there were accidents, of course. A broken leg, someone who'd been kicked by a cow or bitten by a goat. But this... I've never dealt with the carnage of battle before.
If only it had been a battle. This was cold-blooded slaughter.
You were there? God be merciful to you and the dead and the wounded.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka, but he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world. And the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. I can't believe your conscience lets you leave the Skalitz locals in such a state.
I know. I'm shamed. But my brothers believe it's all in God's hands now.
Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious. He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
Of course, like the back of my hand.
You don't look the part, but if you say so. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
I see.
Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
Some of the brothers like a good sleep, and sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Johanka said that you might be able to advise.
A disease, you say? How intriguing.
Yes, it's very interesting, but can you help these people?
I can't say at this point. I need to find out a little more. Tell me, has the whole village come down with it?
No, I mean, not yet. Several households have, around half the village.
Merhoyed? Isn't there a stud farm there? And what of the animals? Did they get infected too?
Yes, there's a stud farm. And they've all died off. The horses, the cattle, chickens, and now it's got to the people.
That is most intriguing. What are we to do about it? Do you know the symptoms?
Yes, more or less.
Excellent. I have several extensive volumes here in the library. Describe the epidemic, including the symptoms, and we could take some guidance there. Can you read?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So follow me to the scriptorium.
Let's have a word about the price.
Well, we can try it.
Since it's you...
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. Aye, for that amount I can be persuaded.
What do you want?
I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, Fine then. Why the fuck are you waking me up?
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. He'll be able to get out of this on his own. He just needs to sleep.
Lord, oh Lord, what times we live in. Yes, that would make sense. Could it be? No, probably not. Now what have we here? Could it be? No, probably not. Yes, that would make sense. A peculiar case. Now what have we here? Yes, that would make sense. Yes, that would make sense. Lord, oh Lord, what times we live in.
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you.
Now what have we here? Could it be? No, probably not. A peculiar case. Yes, that would make sense.
I think I have it.
Yes? And what do you make of it?
It's poisoning from tainted water.
Really? That sounds rather unlikely. But if Master Johann of St. Paul's says so, who am I to contradict him? We shall have to prepare some medicine at once.
I could help with that.
Really?
Yes. I know my way around the alchemistic arts.
An ordinary fellow who knows the arts of physic? Who would have thought it? Excellent. I'll give you the recipe, and you have my permission to make use of the monastery laboratory.
I'll get started right away.
I, meanwhile, shall head straight to, where was it again?
Merhoyed.
Oh, yes, Merhoyed. I'll take Johanka with me. She has no equal in caring for the sick. Once you have the medication ready, hurry after me.
Thank you, Brother Nicodemus. Good luck, Brother Nicodemus.
And to you, Henry.
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
Wouldn't you rather learn the basics first?
Well, I'll think it over.
Good day to you.
Whose house is this?
It's our local custodians. The most esteemed Sir Sebastian, Baron von Berg.
You don't seem to think very much of him.
Well, of course I do. A man with a nose so stuck up that it acts as a rain funnel can't be all bad.
What does the custodian do anyway?
Well, he's meant to look after the local community and keep the peace.
But
in fact, he seems more interested in robbing everyone blind.
I'm much obliged.
Don't mention it.
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau, in such a holy place, filled with knowledge?
Don't even talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books, they don't want to talk to you, and when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius, at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there, you could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Oh, now. You'd do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'd be very grateful to you.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I have some, trophies.
Let's have them. There are plenty of them. My lad, you're the wrath of God personified.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
She has a kind heart. Everyone can see how deeply she cares about the wounded. If you help her selflessly, it'll win her over. She's bound to be impressed.
Maybe you're right. It will cost me something, but I'll discuss it with Nicodemus. I should be able to help in some way.
So, here I am. How are things looking?
It doesn't look good at all, my boy. Do you have the potion?
Yes, here it is.
I'll take 4 doses, you take the rest, and let's split up. I'll see to the Straw family, while you deal with Melikar's wife and the rest. They wouldn't let me go near that prisoner. They want him to suffer. Despite his terrible crimes, to treat a fellow mortal soul like that.
Perhaps I'll be able to convince them. I promised I'd bring them help, and I've kept my word. They must let me go to him.
I hope so, but in the short while I've been here, I've found the locals to be rather stubborn.
You're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melikar.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I brought some help, as promised. Will you let me see the prisoner?
I will let you, I will. Of course I will. My boy, if you've really brought a potion to rid us of this scourge, I'll let you do anything.
Whether I've managed to rid you of the scourge, that remains to be seen. It'll take a few days before we know whether the potion worked.
I know, but even so, just the fact that someone cares, that means a lot to us.
Don't fret about that, Melikar. A thing like that would have scared anybody. Just take care of, what is your wife's name?
Hannah.
So, take good care of her.
Now open up that shed.
We found out what could be the cause of the affliction.
And?
You should check where your water's coming from. Nicodemus and I think that it comes down to poisoning.
It'd be hard to poison the spring, but what about the well? Good Lord, that's difficult to believe.
I have my suspicions.
The bastards weren't satisfied with killing young Straw. The fucking bastards!
Hey!
One of the sick men, Semek, is complaining about pain and the fact he can't work. He says he...
Semek? Is he one of our people?
No, he's a construction worker. He's bruised and confined to...
Henry, for God's sake, our neighbours are dying here. You're friends. There isn't time to waste on some construction worker's bruises. Oh, honestly, what were you thinking?
Listen, all I need to find out is the name of a herb.
Then go and look it up in a book. You've got your own herbarium, haven't you?
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God! There has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know.
No, my God, no. Let me sleep.
Now let's wait and see what happens.
Brother, is that you? We have to hitch up the sled.
Yes, the sled. Just you drink this and you'll be fine.
Is this holy water, brother?
It is. Drink some, and give it to the others in the house too. Brother Nicodemus will come to check on you.
You're back?
Yes, and I have something to make you well again.
Good Lord above. Thank you for showing us your mercy.
Drink this, and give it to everyone in the house. I've also brought someone who will take care of you until you get back on your feet.
Thank you, Good Samaritan.
What are you doing here? Can't you see I have a cross on the door?
Don't worry, I brought a remedy from Sasau. Drink this regularly, you and everyone in the house.
A remedy? You have hands of gold, pure gold, my boy. God bless you.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm investigating on behalf of Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Oh, I see. You'll have an easy job with me, boy.
How so?
I won't give you any problems.
That's sensible of you.
I'm a sensible man. Only I'd like to get it over quick and not keep the Rattay executioner busy too long, if you catch my drift.
I understand.
What do you want to know?
Everything. First, tell me who's behind all this. Who do you follow?
I follow the coin, lad. We all do.
That's not news to me, but who pays the coin?
I got my pay from Runt, like all the men in Pribyslavitz. And Runt got his money from the chief, and the chief had the coin minted.
Who's the chief? The bandit leader?
Bandit? If he heard you say that, he'd have your head on a spike. That's the kind of man he is. Nobody knows much about him, though. Only that he ain't Czech.
So he's a foreigner? German?
Don't think so. For sure he ain't Czech. And he's got plenty of coin. I'd stake my neck on it. He's got noble blood in his veins.
Judging by how he looks?
More by the way he talks. Any man can dress up like nobility, but he spoke all la-di-da, like a lord.
Where's that chief of yours now?
I've no idea. After Pribyslavitz, he ordered us to raid Merhoyed, but he wasn't with us. He went off who knows where. I don't reckon he'll be out of your hair for long, though.
So the chief is in command of all these operations?
You could say. I'd say you're looking at it all wrong, though.
How's that?
You ask who's in charge and who answers to who, only this ain't some noble court. There was all sorts of gangs in Pribyslavitz, big and small. Robber barons who had their own brigades calling them my lord, and common footpads who hadn't a pot to piss in. Men came, men went. Lots of squabbles, the occasional murder. Old cronies and old rivals were meeting. Know what I mean?
I suppose so.
It was one big muddle. The main thing was nobody asked questions. I didn't give a damn who the chief was or what he had in mind or whether he had one ball or two. All I was interested in was the coin.
Uh-huh. How did you know about Pribyslavitz? Who took you there?
A fellow by the name of Moorcock. We met near Kuttenberg. I was robbing burghers who were fleeing the town from Sigismund's army. We got to talking and he told me about Pribyslavitz.
Why did you attack Merhoyed?
The chief himself gave us the order. I reckon he wanted to show the local lords he was nowhere near finished.
So he's planning more raids?
The chief's always planning something. Pribyslavitz was only the start.
So you knew the coin was counterfeit?
Course I did. I brought those groschen to Pribyslavitz, along with a few other things.
Did you? And where did the forgeries come from?
Like, where were they made? I don't know. Some merchant by the name of Menhart gave them to me. We used to meet at the charcoal piles near Rovna, by the crossroads there. As it happens, I'm supposed to be meeting him there about now.
So Menhart's waiting there?
Might be, might not. He could have heard what happened in Pribyslavitz and decided not to show.
And does this Menhart know where the coin comes from?
How should I know? To me, he's just another link in the chain. I deal with him, and I never ask who he deals with. Just like he knows nothing about me.
I see. So I suppose there's no point asking you if you know any more about him.
It'd be a waste of breath. All he did was give me the coin, and then we went our separate ways.
Who else knows about the money?
Apart from the chief, Menhart, Runt and me, there was a few others. The men got some real money too, with the false stuff. It'd be suspicious if they only had freshly minted coin.
You said you used to bring other things. What were they?
Letters. Menhart would give them to me for the chief. This time I was taking an answer back to Menhart too.
Have you still got that letter?
Aye. The yokels round here ain't got much interest in correspondence, apparently.
Give it to me then.
I'd be delighted.
What were the letters about?
If I knew how to read, I wouldn't be trusted to carry letters, would I? I took them from Menhart to the chief and back. That's all.
That's all I need to know for now.
For now, for the love of Christ, boy, don't let the executioner interrogate me. I've already told you everything I know.
I can't deny you've been cooperative. I'll do my best to see you get a quick end.
Henry! I think old Straw's come for the brigand. Step back from that Eden, young fella!
But you can't kill me! Not just like that!
Shut the fuck up, you weasel, and keep it fucking shut! You don't even get a say! Calm down, Straw. He won't escape justice. After all, he's... Don't stand in my way, Melikar! Let Henry decide. He's the one who saved his life.
Let's talk about it.
To hell with that. That horse will kill my boy. He won't leave Merhoyed alive.
I understand, Straw, truly. I lost my parents. They were slain in front of my eyes, and to the day I die, I'll never forgive myself for doing nothing to save them.
And if you got your hands on the men who killed them, would you let them live?
I suppose.
See? Go then. Take that bastard and get out of here. And if one day you find your parents' killers, remember what passed here today.
We should check our